Hello my stitching friends! Welcome back to another video for my fundraising stitching along. In today's video I will be stitching periwinkle flower and wheat. You will see all the steps from my embroidery process, and you will also hear the story about periwinkle and wheat, why they are symbols of Ukraine and what they mean in our culture. If you're new here, my name is Natalie. I'm an embroidery artist from Ukraine, and I believe that the power of my art can make the difference. If you want to join this stitching along and support my country, check the link in the video description below. Okay, let's get started. For the wheat I used 6 strands of floss and lazy daisy stitch. It's simple. Pull the needle through the front, make a loop and insert again right next to the place you pull out. Come up again in the other place holding the thread under the needle, insert the needle outside of the loop and move on to the next petal. Continue and move to the top. Wheat is a symbol of the beauty of life, happy well-being, physical and spiritual wealth. From time immemorial, wheat means the image of a girl, even a bride. Therefore, the wedding loaf is baked from the wheat flour of the highest quality, so that the life of the young was of no lower quality. You can also fill the space inside the loop using lighter color. I use 6 strands of floss. Now let's add some details, so the wheat will have a complete look. I use only 1 strand of darker shade and try and split stitch. Then I tried another way and I liked it more. I just did 1 long stitch and anchored by a shorter stitch. It calls Romanian couching stitch, also known as oriental stitch, antique couching, oriental couching and figure stitch. Now let's stitch the periwinkle flower. You can see that before filling the petals, I made an outline using 2 strands of floss. I did it using split stitch. I do it using short stitches because the flower is small and I want to get a perfect solid line. You can use another stitches for this outline like back stitch, stem stitch or even whipped back stitch. I personally like to use split stitch for it. You often ask me a question, why do we need to outline and how to decide if you need it inside or outside, or we should do the both. I wrote an article about it on Patreon and shared my opinion. You can find the link to this article in the video description. But first I would like to ask you, what do you think about it? Which kind of outline do you use, or you don't use it at all? Please let me know in the comments, I would be glad to discuss it. I use the same color and 2 strands to fill the petals. It's long and short stitch. I make 1 stitch by the center to mark the direction, and then I fill all the rest. When I'm filling, I put my needle outside of the border but really close to it. I want to cover the outline with my stitches. Avoid catching the outline stitches with your needle. You don't want to split it because then this outline will be partly visible outside. Also, I don't fill entire petal, I leave some space for another color closer to the center. So basically, if you did an inner outline with filling, you usually don't need to do outside outline. Later, your edges are already perfect. This type of outline can add some volume to your borders. The more strands of floss you use, the more volume you can add. I usually use 2 strands of floss and the same color of thread for outline and filling. I like this method because the petals and leaves looks more natural. Now I change the color and use only 1 strand of floss. I'm blending those colors and it creates a soft gradient. Periwinkle is a symbol of love, eternity and permanence. This plant is named after the passionate feeling of the young boy Bar and the girl Winky. We call it Barwinok. Periwinkle is traditionally decorated with loves and weddings woven into a wreath. Shrubs of this plant can be found in almost every homestead. It grows green even under the snow. Previously, periwinkle served as a reliable amulet against evil spirits. That's why periwinkle was hung over the door of the house and never thrown in the trash, but only in water. Probably that is why so many legends and traditions are connected with this flower. Yellow threads for the flower center, and this flower is complete. I started stitching the leaf from the veins. I use 2 strands and stem stitch. It's comfortable for those who can forget where they are marked. For example, if you will decide to fill the background first, you can cover those lines with your stitches. And if you will stitch the veins first, they are not going to be lost. But you can do your way, which is comfortable for you. Now I fill the rest. I use 2 strands of floss and long and short stitch. I left some space for another color I will use for gradient. I don't do any outline this time because I'm planning to outline it later on top of everything and create some contrast using darker shade of floss. You may find it easier to fill the shape first and then do the outline stitch second. This way you don't need to worry about the sharpness of your borders too much. An outline allows you to hide any uneven edges of the fill stitches by slightly stitching over top of them. And this outline makes all the colors pop and add some contrast for your embroidery. I hope that my tips were useful for you. If yes, so give this video a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In my next video I will be stitching a marigold flower and viburnum. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you in my next videos. I want to say a huge thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. I don't have any monetization on YouTube and those videos became possible thanks to my patrons. If you want to join them, tap the link in the description below. Join my stitching club and get all the amazing benefits I prepared for you. Check it out! And of course a huge thank you and a special big hugs to those who joined my fundraising stitching along for Ukraine. I believe that together we can make the difference. Please share your progress shots on Instagram and Facebook under the Peace for Ukraine stitching along hashtag, so I will see it and share in my stories and feed. And invite your friends. Ukraine still needs your support. The war is not over and it's been more than 100 days since it started, and we are still fighting for our freedom and democracy. You can find more information about how to support by the link in the video description below. That's it, thank you so much for watching, bye!